You know, the first thing you've got to understand about life is that it doesn't care about your plans. None of them. You can sit there meticulously mapping out every single detail of your day, week, year, even your decade, and life is going to come along and laugh at you. It's going to do exactly what it wants, completely indifferent to your careful arrangements, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, think about it. Every single one of us has had this idea that if we just work hard, if we just play our cards right, life will reward us. And sometimes it seems to work, and sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time, it doesn't, and you have to accept that. You plan a vacation, thinking you've got every detail under control, and suddenly the flight is canceled, the hotel is overbooked, the rental car breaks down, and somehow, it ends up being the worst trip of your life. But here's the thing, when it all falls apart, you realize it was always going to, you just didn't know it yet. And the earlier you understand that life doesn't owe you anything, the better off you are. There's a kind of relief in realizing that none of your expectations are sacred, that they were always just illusions. The world doesn't revolve around your perfect scenario. It doesn't even know what your perfect scenario is. And it's not just big things, it's in the small stuff, the everyday stuff. You wake up thinking, today I'm going to get to work on time, today I'm going to eat healthy, today I'm going to finally tackle that project I've been putting off. And then the moment you walk out the door, your car won't start, the coffee shop has a line that stretches to eternity, and someone cuts you off on the way to work. Life just happens, completely unbothered by your intentions. And yet, we spend so much time being angry at it, being frustrated that things didn't go the way we wanted, instead of laughing at how predictable it all is. Here's the reality. Life isn't a cooperative partner. It's not like it sits there waiting for you to get your act together. It's chaotic, messy, random, and yes, sometimes cruel. You can't negotiate with it, you can't bribe it, you can't reason with it. It doesn't care if you've planned to finally impress your boss this week, or if you've decided that this year is the year you're going to lose 10 pounds and finally stop eating that late-night junk food. It will throw curveballs just because it can. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you start to feel free. Because the alternative is living a life of constant disappointment. If you go through life believing that things will always go according to plan, that people will behave exactly as you expect, that the world owes you something just for showing up, you're setting yourself up for endless frustration. Every missed opportunity, every moment where reality doesn't match your expectations becomes a personal failure in your mind. But it isn't. It's life doing what life does. And once you stop taking it personally, once you stop thinking that the universe is out to get you, something incredible happens. You stop fighting so hard against the current and start floating with it, and you start seeing the strange, beautiful ways in which life actually works. It's also worth noticing that the chaos isn't just random misery, it's where everything interesting happens. You can plan a perfect life on paper, but life only gets good when things go wrong. The stories, the experiences, the moments you actually remember fondly, they almost always come from the unexpected. That weird road trip where nothing went right, but you laughed so hard you cried. The conversation that started awkwardly and ended with someone giving you the best advice of your life. The surprise encounter that changes the way you see everything. None of it could have been planned, and yet somehow that's life's gift. The unpredictability is the whole point. So, stop trying to control everything. Stop thinking that if you just plan well enough, think hard enough, or worry enough, you'll avoid disappointment. It doesn't work that way. Life will always be life. The sooner you understand that, the lighter you feel. You stop carrying the weight of impossible expectations, and you start noticing the little things, the absurd moments, the pure chaos that makes it all worth it. Life doesn't care about your plans. And the beautiful thing is, once you accept that, you stop fearing the moments when things don't go right. You stop feeling cheated when plans fall apart. You start seeing it as exactly what it is, life showing up unapologetically in all its messy, unpredictable glory. And once you see that, you realize that you've been worrying about the wrong things all along. You know, everyone tells you that happiness is the ultimate goal, that life is this big treasure hunt, and if you just find the right job, the right partner, the right morning routine, you'll finally get it like it's some kind of golden ticket. And we chase it like maniacs, scrolling through Instagram, comparing ourselves to people whose lives look perfect while theirs is probably falling apart behind the camera. And here's the brutal truth. Happiness is way overrated, and most of the time, it's not what you think it is. We think happiness is some constant state, like a permanent smile plastered on your face, a perfect Instagram filter that never changes. But life doesn't work that way. Happiness is not a destination. It's a fleeting little guest who shows up sometimes. Usually when you're too busy ignoring it, you try to chase it, and it slips through your fingers like soap in the shower. The more you chase it, the less you get it. The irony is that when you stop trying so hard, when you accept that life is messy and uncomfortable, that's when happiness sneaks in. And let's be honest, life is uncomfortable a lot of the time. People don't tell you that part. They skip right over it. You wake up tired, your back hurts, your coffee's cold, traffic's insane, and your boss is sending emails at 7-3 inches. The morning life is a constant series of tiny disasters. And you know what? That's fine. Accepting it is not giving up. It's realizing that happiness isn't about avoiding the bad moments, it's about laughing at them while they're happening. Humor and resilience go hand in hand. If you can laugh at the absurdity, you survive, and then sometimes happiness just pops up while you're busy surviving. Here's another thing. We waste so much time thinking that if only we were richer, smarter, better looking, or healthier, happiness would finally arrive. And yeah, little improvements can help, but that's not the core of it. The core of it is perspective. You can have everything and still be miserable, and you can have almost nothing and just be delighted. Happiness is not a reward, it's a choice. It's the small victories, the tiny moments of relief, the ridiculous, unexpected things that make you stop and think, okay, life isn't completely terrible. And the funniest part? Most people spend decades chasing this illusion, ignoring the moments where happiness is already showing up. They think it's a big, dramatic fireworks display, when in reality it's more like a cat jumping onto your lap when you weren't expecting it, or someone holding the door for you when your arms are full, or laughing until your stomach hurts at a joke that makes no sense at all. Those little things are life's way of winking at you, saying, hey, I told you it's not that serious. So here's the motivation. Stop waiting for happiness to show up in a giant package wrapped in ribbons. Stop trying to force it with strict routines or endless self-help books or motivational quotes that make you feel like a failure because you're not happy enough yet. Life is messy, uncomfortable, chaotic, and sometimes humiliating, and that's exactly where happiness lives. If you can learn to embrace the discomfort, the imperfections, and even the absurdity of it all, you start noticing the little sparks. And those sparks, that's your real happiness. That's your victory. That's your life actually happening, and it's more than enough. So laugh at the chaos, celebrate the weird little wins, stop treating happiness like it's some secret code to unlock a perfect life. It's already here, hiding in plain sight in the moments you stop overthinking and start living. And once you see that, once you actually get it, the world doesn't feel like it's against you anymore. It feels like it's messy, ridiculous, and maybe even kind of brilliant. You know, here's something that nobody wants to admit, but it's the truth. Everyone is self-absorbed, completely. You think people care about your struggles, your failures, your embarrassing moments? Nope, not even a little bit. People are too busy worrying about their own mess, their own nonsense, their own weird little insecurities. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you feel free. Think about it. How often do you walk into a room thinking, I hope everyone notices me, I hope they like me, I hope they realize how hard I've worked? And meanwhile, they're all walking in thinking, I hope nobody notices how sweaty I am, I hope I don't spill my coffee, I hope I don't say something stupid. Everyone is so wrapped up in themselves that the likelihood anyone is actually judging you is ridiculously low. And even if they are, it doesn't matter because their lives are already chaotic. They're too busy surviving to think about you for more than a millisecond. Here's the funny part. Once you get this, it's like a weight lifts off your shoulders. You stop walking around apologizing for existing. Stop editing yourself. Before you even speak, stop stressing over how others perceive you. You realize that almost nobody is keeping score, and even the ones who are, they're terrible at it. Life isn't a rating system, and nobody's giving you points or taking them away for failing to be perfect. And this isn't just about strangers. Friends, family, coworkers, they're self-absorbed too. Don't get me wrong, we love them, we care about them, but they're in their own worlds most of the time. So when you think, why didn't she text me back? Why didn't he remember my birthday? Why didn't they notice how stressed I am? It's not malicious. It's not even negligence. It's just life. People are busy managing their own chaos. And the sooner you understand that, the less personal every disappointment feels. You stop turning tiny frustrations into major life tragedies. Now, here's the motivational twist. Realizing that everyone is self-absorbed isn't depressing. It's liberating. Because once you stop worrying about how others see you, you finally get to be yourself without fear. You can speak your mind, make your mistakes, act awkward, fail spectacularly, and no one's going to remember or even notice for long. You finally get the freedom to live in the messy, imperfect way you were meant to. And here's the kicker. When you stop obsessing over what people think, life gets funnier, lighter, more alive. You start doing things for yourself instead of performing for some imagined audience. You take risks, you say the awkward thing, you laugh at your own ridiculousness, and in that moment, something amazing happens. People start respecting that authenticity, even if they're not consciously aware of it. People gravitate toward the ones who are genuinely living, not pretending. So the big takeaway, stop trying to be the person everyone else wants you to be. Stop thinking that the world is watching your every move, because it isn't. The world isn't even close to watching your every move. It's too busy fumbling through its own mess. And once you accept that, you start to live in a completely different way. You stop apologizing for existing. You stop fearing judgment that barely exists. You start laughing at the chaos of it all, and suddenly you feel lighter, stronger, freer. Self-absorption everywhere isn't a curse. It's a secret superpower. Once you realize everyone's wrapped up in themselves, you stop giving your power away. You stop worrying about approval. You stop holding yourself back. And you start finally living in a way that's messy, imperfect, hilarious, and completely your own. And here's the part nobody really wants to hear. You're going to fail. Lots. Not maybe, not sometimes, constantly. Life has this way of throwing you into situations where you look ridiculous, make mistakes, and realize that, yes, you had absolutely no idea what you were doing. And you know what? That's completely normal. Everyone fails, every single person. It's not a moral failing, it's not a judgment against you, it's just life. We all walk around thinking that success is linear, that if we just work hard enough, we'll get it right the first time, that our mistakes are signs that we're fundamentally flawed. But here's the truth. Failing is the only way you actually learn anything. The only way you grow. The only way you figure out what works and what doesn't. And the earlier you accept that failure is inevitable, the less terrifying it becomes, and the more exciting life actually gets. Think about it. Every embarrassing moment you've had, every time you screwed up so badly that you wanted to disappear from existence for a few hours, those are the moments that actually stick with you. Those are the moments you look back on and laugh, or even better, learn from. The people who never fail, they're usually boring. They're cautious. They never try anything new. They never push boundaries. Failure is the price you pay for actually living. And it's funny, isn't it, how we all treat failure like it's this shameful secret? We try to hide it, pretend it didn't happen, or downplay it like it's a minor hiccup. But here's the thing, everyone else has failed too. Everyone. Some just pretend better than you do. Life isn't this perfectly polished Instagram feed. It's messy, awkward, chaotic, and full of failures. And the sooner you stop being embarrassed about yours, the sooner you start moving forward. Now, failure isn't just something you endure, it's something you can even embrace. Because every failure is like a signpost pointing you in a new direction. Every embarrassing mistake is a lesson disguised as pain. Every awkward stumble is a chance to figure out a better path. You don't need to fear it. You need to pay attention to it, learn from it, and sometimes just laugh at it. Because if you can't laugh at your own failures, you're taking life way too seriously. And honestly, life is hilarious if you let it be. Here's a motivational twist. The moments you're most afraid of failing in are usually the moments that matter the most. The bold decisions, the risks, the things that scare the hell out of you, that's where growth happens. That's where you discover strength you didn't know you had. And the beautiful thing is, you'll survive. Every single failure will pass, and the world keeps spinning. You'll be embarrassed, frustrated, maybe even devastated for a little while, but eventually it becomes a story, a lesson, a laugh. And that's the thing nobody tells you about failure. It builds resilience, perspective, and a kind of freedom you can't get any other way. The more you fail, the less fear controls you. The more you fail, the more you realize that life is bigger than any one mistake. The more you fail, the more fun it actually becomes, because you're not paralyzed by the idea of screwing up. You've been there, you've lived through it, and you know it's survivable. So stop fearing it. Stop thinking that every misstep defines you. Stop treating failure as the enemy. Embrace it as part of the process. Laugh at it, learn from it, and then do it again, better and bolder. Because failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone, a necessary chapter in the story of a life actually lived. And once you get that, once you truly understand that failing is inevitable, necessary, and even funny, life stops feeling like a constant threat and starts feeling like an adventure. One messy, ridiculous, glorious adventure where you can take risks, stumble spectacularly, and keep moving forward, stronger, smarter, and surprisingly alive. And here's something else that's going to blow your carefully constructed little mind. Life is random. Completely random. Totally unfair. And no matter how hard you try, you will never fully control it. People like to pretend there's a pattern, that good things happen because you're good, and bad things happen because you're bad. Spoiler alert. It doesn't work that way. Life doesn't care about your sense of justice, your ethics, your painstakingly crafted plans. It just happens. And sometimes it's glorious, sometimes it's devastating, and most of the time, it's somewhere in between. Think about it. You do everything right. You work hard, you eat well, you treat people nicely, you check all the boxes, and something still goes completely sideways. Maybe you get sick. Maybe a job opportunity falls through. Maybe a friend betrays you for no reason at all. And then, on the flip side, some people you swear don't deserve a single break seem to get everything handed to them on a silver platter. Life is unfair. It's ridiculous. And no amount of planning, worrying, or whining will change that. But here's the thing. That unfairness, that randomness, is exactly what makes life interesting. It's the chaos that gives everything its flavor. If life were completely predictable and fair, it would be boring. You'd wake up, everything would happen exactly how you expected, and by 3 p.m., you'd be asleep again from sheer monotony. Randomness creates stories, creates moments that make you stop, shake your head, and either laugh or cry, or sometimes both at the same time. It's in the unpredictability that life really lives. And the funniest part? We spend so much energy fighting it, blaming it, railing against the unfairness, pretending we should be exempt from it. Meanwhile, the moment you stop struggling against the tide, something magical happens. You start noticing the little victories that aren't deserved, but still exist. You start appreciating moments that have nothing to do with fairness, like a friend showing up when you didn't expect them, a stranger holding the door, a small, ridiculous coincidence that somehow brightens your day. Life doesn't have to be fair to be good, it just has to be lived. Here's where the motivational twist comes in. Accepting life's randomness frees you. When you stop demanding that the universe bend to your expectations, you stop being constantly disappointed. You stop wasting energy on things you can't control. You start focusing on what actually matters, the moments you can influence, the joy you can create, the laughter you can share, the connections you can nurture. You start participating in life instead of being perpetually frustrated by it. And here's a truth nobody wants to admit. Sometimes the random, unfair things that happen to you are actually blessings in disguise. They force you to change, to grow, to see things differently. They make you stronger, wiser, more resilient. You can't plan them, you can't predict them, and often you can't even recognize them at first. But later, looking back, you realize those moments were shaping you, guiding you, giving your story texture and depth. Life's randomness isn't punishment, it's material. It's the clay you're working with, messy and stubborn as it is. So the key is this: stop expecting life to be fair. Stop measuring everything against some imagined scale of justice. Stop getting angry at the randomness and start playing with it. Dance with it. Learn to move with it, to bend without breaking, to see opportunity where others see chaos. When you do that, you start noticing the humor, the absurdity, the beauty in the very thing you used to resent. Life isn't perfect, it isn't rational, and it certainly isn't fair, but it is exactly what it is. And there's a kind of joy in that truth if you're willing to see it. And once you get that, once you truly understand that randomness and unfairness are baked into existence, the frustration falls away. You stop taking life personally, stop obsessing over the things you can't control, and suddenly the world stops feeling like it's against you. It just is. Messy, unpredictable, ridiculous, unfair, and somehow, when you accept it, kind of amazing.